Okay, so let's talk about the debates. So what you guys are doing is a Socratic debate. Okay, your focus for our Socratic debate for ethnic studies for our first debate, you're really going to be talking about Americas between the 1600s and 1800s. Okay, so it's almost like a midpoint. Now let's talk about just the debate in general right now.
Pizza.
So again, ask questions as you guys feel like you have them. Just make sure you guys are following along with me. Make this full screen. Okay. So this is a video that's going to show some kids doing the Socratic debate. So that's an example. This is a very basic example, but look up and pay attention. Okay, so the bandwidth is not working with me on this one. So we're going to move on. So follow me out about how you do debates. Let's talk about the rule sheet. All right, so in this case here, you guys are not going to have, let's zoom this in a little bit more. You guys are not going to have a team of 4 to 6 people. You're not going to have 4 to 6 people. You do need to make sure you guys read the assigned text or the research. For the case of ethnic studies right now, you guys have to make sure you guys read White Man's Burden, Indentured Servitude, and Slavery in the Slavery DBQ. Is everybody clear there? Okay. Now you want to make sure you listen and watch the discussion strategies are going to be part of today's Socratic. When it's your turn, sit in the center. Where in this case here, you're not going to sit in the center. We're doing it virtually. So what you're going to be doing actually is going to be just cutting your camera on. So what's going to happen is going to be that I'm going to ask 4 of you guys to cut your cameras on. You guys will be in the fishbowl per se, and everybody else, while the debate is going on, you can cut your camera off. However, everybody still should be taking notes. This is how we do it in the virtual setting. In the classroom setting, y'all come into like a little circle and debate each other. When I say begin, that means that's when you guys start, and your goal is to use as many strategies as possible, but the listening is going to be your key. Okay? You guys don't have to worry about doing Smackdown cards, anything like that, but this will be the key. Listen to these strategies. So let's talk about that next. These are your strategies, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you get your points. So I'm gonna break down every last point here, okay? You guys see this, okay? Okay. Okay. Thank you, B. And now this is also in the document I gave y'all yesterday, but I'm gonna record this video for y'all to see it. So let me just follow me out. You get 1 point for agreeing, right? So all you have to say is I agree, and to build an argument. So your goal is to say, yes, I agree with what B is saying, and that the video is a little blurry for us watching it on Zoom. However, I can then go ahead and type it in the chat for everybody to see. Does that make sense to everybody? That's 1 point. You can also disagree. Well, you know what? I actually disagree, B. I actually see the video just fine. The reason I see it just fine because the way my computer's set up. That's a point. You also going to ask a question. So I'm going to ask a question. Now, Takaru, how's the video looking for you? Are you seeing it pretty clearly or is it kind of fuzzy? I get a point for that. Using devil's advocate. So now I'm going to say, you know what? I can see Noble really good, but Takara and Melanie, I don't see them as well. So I'm wondering what they're doing. I wonder, are they really paying attention to me? Or I wonder, are they taking notes? I wonder if they can do a combination of both. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to assume they're taking notes because they're pretty good students. Do y'all see how I use devil's advocate? Devil's advocate is 2 points because it requires you to have a higher level of thinking. Then you make a connection. So I'm making a connection. So B just asked me the question, for example, how many points is devil's advocate? Well, I've told B it's 2 points, and the reason it's 2 points because you're using a higher level of thinking. You want to both connect not only what B is saying, but also what I'm saying as far as how we're doing this debate. So if you connect thoughts, that's another 2 points. So I want someone to ask me, somebody give me an example of, for our debate, someone give me an example of using using evidence. What would be an example of using evidence? Somebody talk to me about that. You could. Remember, we already talked about, in this case, we already talked about the Aztecs. We talked about the Mayans, right? You could reference them if you wanted to. And see, now do y'all see why this is, you get more points for using evidence? I really want you guys to draw from everything we've been talking about for the last, 6 weeks now. Now, yeah, those are 2 separate things. So using evidence is 2 points, and then devil's advocate is another 2 points, and then making connections is another 2 points. So connections goes to linking, when you link a person's argument with another person's previous statement. Let me say that again. Connecting is when you're linking a person's argument with another one's previous statement. Is everybody clear there? Devil advocate is when you pose a question or a situation that is counter to a person's argument. Make sense there? Okay, let me say it again. So you pose a question or a situation that is counter to a person's argument. So somebody give me a fact from one of their documents we're going to debate. Give me a fact from one of the debate documents.
So there was a person of servitude because the person that he made just worked with the person for years.
Yeah, good job. Does everybody follow what Ms. Price just did for us? Okay. And then using evidence is just very simple, you guys. Quote the documents. That's all you're doing. Quote the documents. Every time you quote the documents, and make sure you say, like, according to white man's burden, according to the servitude contract, according to, like Ms. Price said, document 10 of the slavery DBQ written by blah, blah, blah. You got to quote them and also say who you're quoting it from. That way we can follow along with your conversation. That makes sense to everybody? Questions? Okay. Now, just like how you can gain points, y'all can lose points too. So this is how you lose points. So we'll talk about both methods, both if we use on face-to-face, also we use like we're doing digital right now. Distractions, meaning you're in the background doing something like it has nothing to do with the class. Like it's just nothing to do with the class. Guys, hold on 1 second. Okay, that's your mom. I'm sorry, you guys. All right. So distraction is anytime you're doing something to distract the class. So in class, like constantly be on your phone. When the debate is going on, everybody that's not debating should have their cameras off. Okay, but however, guys, give me a second. I'm smelling smoke. So give me 1 second, all right? Okay. All right. So another thing you can do is insult each other. So we finish distractions, but also the idea of insulting each other. You don't want to be in a debate and attacking each other personally. Everything you guys say gotta be based off your documents. Is everybody clear on that? Just because. Go ahead. Yeah, don't say you said something dumb. Exactly, okay? You don't do that. Yes, you can, but make sure something comes from the documents. I don't want stuff to come from the internet. So if you can't support it with the documents in front of you, don't say it. Okay. Also, you don't want to interrupt somebody when you're going. These are all like ways to get to the point. Interrupting. So you hear somebody talking, you wait for that. So basic grammar 101. A short pause is a comma that means they keep talking. A strong pause, like what I just did, that's a period. Then that means you complete your thought, then you go talking. But you guys, I don't want to see y'all talking over each other. Does everybody got me on that? Fellas, if you got a young lady talking, be the gentleman and let them finish your thought, and you make sure you get in your thought as soon as she finishes. Ask, okay, are you done with your thought? Are you done with your, but in a polite kind of way. Does that make sense to everybody? You don't want to be mean to each other. You got to make sure we have able to have discourse in a very calm manner. Is there any questions on how you guys get your points? I will stop them. I will not let the conversation be like, again, all you guys got to do in these debates is get at least 5 points to pass, which you can get really fast based on how I got this set up for you guys. But if someone just keeps talking and talking, I'll cut them off. We all clear there now? Go ahead.
So, like, are you, like, when you're doing the documents, so look at Martin's burden, and then dissertation, and things like that. I'm gonna be on one topic and talk about this topic, and then jump to the next topic, or like, can we talk about it all?
That's a great question, and this is what happens. So I'm gonna pose a question to start the debate. Y'all should be controlling the debate. You don't want me to keep posing questions, because the more I pose a question, the harder the question is going to get. Does that make sense? So that's why you guys are getting a point. You guys get 1 point for asking each other a question. So you can bring in another document, which gets you then maybe, like, say they're talking about, maybe you got 11 documents in slavery for like this first debate. Maybe you don't know documents 9, 10, 11, right? Go ahead and pose a question for document 5 so it can draw you back into the debate. That makes sense to everybody? So you want the 4 people that's in the debate, you want to control the conversation. You do not want Dr. T to jump in, because I'm going to pose a question. This will be like a DOK 3 or 4 questions that make you really think hard. In other words, don't be quiet for 2 minutes. You want to constantly keep going. And remember, 2 minutes is a long time if you're prepared. But just make sure you guys are ready to have a discourse. Okay? Any other questions?